So over a time period of about 6 years, which is how long my last menstrual cup actually lasted me, I saved about 124 euros, which is on the lower side because I'm pretty sure that I was using more than one pack of tampons per cycle, since I was changing out my tampon every time I went to the toilet, which is definitely more than 3 times a day. So you might be able to double that amount and get to 250 euros saved over 6 years of using a menstrual cup instead of tampons. Hi and welcome. So today I thought I would talk to you about using a menstrual cup, which is what I've been doing for the past 7 years. My last menstrual cup actually lasted me about 6 years before I had to replace it. That's a whole lot less waste than I would have had if I kept using tampons all the time. So today I thought I would chat to you about my experience using menstrual cup, just a little bit of the basics of how to use it, how to take care of your menstrual cup, and all of that good stuff. Don't worry, it's clean. It even smells kind of nice because it still smells like my cleanser that I use for menstrual cup. Anyway, this is the first video in a little series that I am starting on my channel, which is all about zero waste periods. So I will also be doing a video on reusable pads as well as period panties. And then I will also probably do a video sharing my periods routines. So everything that I'm doing when I'm on my period to make it more comfortable, as well as how I'm using this cup and the pads and the panties. Like I already told you, this is my second cup. The first one lasted me 6 years. If this is gonna do the same, I'm perfectly happy. And what's so very great about menstrual cups is you can leave them in for up to 12 hours and basically you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day, which is so nice, especially compared to using tampons, which you need to change often. I just change it twice a day, in the morning when I wake up and in the evening when I have my shower. So when I first started to get my menstrual cup, I did a ton of research on all of the different cups available. And I ended up going with Lunette, which is a brand from Finland, I think. And what really interested me about this brand specifically is that one, they were European, which, I don't know, felt nice since, hey, I'm from Europe, I'm from the Netherlands. So it's a little bit closer to home. And then also what I found back then is that they were using 100% medical grade silicone, which I couldn't really find much about for other brands I was looking into. And basically they had the highest standards of that I could find at the time. And after I needed to change my cup, I basically just decided to go for the same one because I love it. It's been so great. This is not a sponsored video, however, I do have a discount code for you for 20% off on their website. So you just use the code EVA20 at checkout and you get a discount of 20%. I'll also leave a link in the description box down below. Alright, so there's a few different things that you need to know about using your menstrual cup. There are different sizes available. On their website, Lunette actually has a little tool for you that will help you determine what size is going to be best for you. So I will make sure to link that down below as well. Very shortly, they have 2 sizes with Lunette, size 1 and size 2. The first size is what I have, the smaller cup, and it's made of a slightly softer silicone. For the most part, what they recommend this size for is for women that have not given birth and for women that are not athletes. So at the start of your cycle, you are going to want to make sure that this cup is sterilized. If you haven't done anything like that before, basically what you're going to do is you're going to boil it for 5 to 10 minutes and you can do that either on the stove or in a microwave. So if you're going to boil your cup in a microwave, which is typically what I tend to do, it's just a lot easier to be honest. There's a few ways that you can go about this. So for the microwave, you can either just take a big cup and fill that up with water, dump your menstrual cup in there, or you have these special sort of cups that are specifically made to help sterilize your cup in the microwave. Nice thing about this is it has a bit of a lid, so there's not going to be as much steam inside of your microwave. Which, if you're using this, you don't want to close the lid. You should have a little bit of a gap so the steam can escape. And this one is actually foldable. If you're expecting your cycle to come up when you're away traveling or whatever, this can actually be really nice. You can just pop it in your bag. And I'm not really using this all that often, even though it's nice to have. I tend to just use a big glass. So what you're gonna do, you're opening it up. You are going to add water into whatever cup you're using, and then you're going to put your menstrual cup in it. You want to make sure that whether it's in a glass and you're going to do it in a microwave, or you're going to boil your cup on the stove, that there is enough water for it to float freely so that it does not burn. And on the stove, that's even a little bit more important than in a microwave. So you're going to boil that for 5 to 10 minutes. And then it's going to be very, very, very hot. And you're going to just simply clean it with a cup cleanser. It's not necessarily needed, but I think it's a really nice extra step to make sure that it's nice and clean. I didn't do this with my first cup, and what I definitely noticed is that it was staining a lot quicker than this one, since I'm using a cup cleanser. And it also smells really, really nice. So what does this smell like? I think it's on here. A eucalyptus and lemon. It smells so good. This is very much a happy smell. They are using actual essential oils in this cup cleanser. And in case you didn't know, lemon essential oil has been proven to lift your mood. So not a very bad idea to put it in a product that you use on your periods. So just washing it with a tiny little drop under some cold water. Before you're going to insert your cup, after sterilizing it, please make sure you're going to rinse it under some cold water first. Because one little time I did not have patience to do so, and I was very sorry afterwards. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to shove a hot menstrual cup up into your vagina. It's not a pleasant experience, believe me. Please let me be the one to make that mistake. And don't repeat it for yourself. Please don't. You're not going to be very happy if you do. Then for using your menstrual cup and when you're going to insert it, there's a couple of different ways of folding your menstrual cup. With me playing with it all the time, you might have seen that it's pretty flexible, which is what you want. Because if it's not, it's going to be very difficult to insert it and to take it out. My personal favorite way of folding my menstrual cup and inserting it is the C fold. What you're going to do is you're going to squeeze the menstrual cup shut, and then you're just going to fold it in half. And this is going to form a bit of a C, which makes the entire menstrual cup fairly small and fairly easy to insert. It's a little bigger than a tampon, but if you're used to using tampons, I think this might be the way that is going to be the easiest to insert it. What I really like about this is that it's pretty easy to pop open again once it's in, and the whole thing is fairly small. So with some older folding methods, you'll see that the base can still be fairly wide, and this doesn't. Also, I think it like this, I feel like it's slightly easier to hold when inserting than a few of the other folding methods. And then you have the punch down fold, which basically you're gonna take the rim of your cup and you're going to punch it down into the cup, into the base, which leaves you with a smaller bit to insert, which I'd say this really is about the size of the tampon. However, if you can see this, the base is still fairly wide, so that's what I find is not ideal. Also, this way of inserting, it doesn't always pop open as easily. So you really want to make sure to check with your finger once it's in to see if the entire rim has popped open. And then the last fold, which is the triangle fold, I think it's called. Basically, you're folding your cup in half, like with the C fold, and then you're taking one of the sides and folding it down. So now you have a bit of a triangle. Shape-wise, this is very similar to the punch down fold. However, it will be a little bit easier to pop open. So for inserting your cup, make sure you are slightly lubricated. For me, typically just using a little bit of water on the rim is enough, since with menstrual blood, to get very TMI again, it's already lubricated quite enough. Some people do like using a water-based lubricant, which I think Lynette might actually also sell. So for inserting, you're just going to choose your way of folding that feels best for you. I recommend just trying it out and see for yourself what works for you. And you're going to, well, insert it in there. And then after it's popped open, you want to make sure to check if the entire menstrual cup has actually popped open. If it did not, it won't create that vacuum seal that it needs to keep off the blood from leaking out. So what you're going to do is you just can take your finger up there and sort of feel around the rim of the cup and see if it's completely open. If it is, then you're fine. If it's not, you can actually sort of pinch the base of the cup, and that will sort of push some of the air up, which will help it expand and then create that vacuum seal like that. It's pretty easy. There might be a bit of a learning curve with this, but I'm quite confident that you will get the hang of it quite quickly. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but you're gonna want to do this sitting or squatting down. It's going to make it the easiest for you. For everyone, the height of their cervix is going to be a little bit different, and that might impact in how your cup sits in your vagina. I actually needed to cut down a bit of the stem in order for it to fit properly. So just know that that is an option. Once it's in there, you don't want to feel the stem poking out. And then it's definitely too long. And basically you don't want to really feel your menstrual cup at all. If you do, you can just try out a few different ways of inserting it. And at some point you might decide to take off a little bit of the stem in order to make it a little bit shorter and fit more properly. Once you're ready to enter your cup and clean it, you can either do this on the toilet, squatting down over it, or you can do this in the shower, which is my preferred way. I just think it's a little bit easier. If you're going to do this in the shower, you're just going to squat down. The deeper your squat is, the easier it is to get this cup out. Why? Because by squatting down, you actually shorten the length of your vagina, which means that this cup is going to come down further and it's going to be easier to grab it. Also, try to stay relaxed. If you're getting stressed, you're going to contract those pelvic floor muscles and it's going to be impossible to get it out. So if it doesn't really work at the first time, just try to take a few deep breaths, relax, and try again. What you're going to do, you're going to insert your finger into your vagina and see if you can find the base of your cup, so this part of the cup. You'll see with lunettes that they actually have these ridges at the base of the cup, which is going to make it easier for you to grab onto and to take it out. If you can not reach the base of your cup, try to feel for the stem of your cup, and you can very carefully pull on that and sort of walk it down by moving it back and forth. And then once you can reach the base of your cup, you're going to pinch it to break that vacuum seal. And then you can carefully take it out. You're going to dump out the contents of the cup and then you're going to wash it. So with washing your cup, what you really want to take care of is that you first rinse it with some cold water. And only if all of the blood has rinsed off and it's pretty much clean, that's when you're going to wash it with some warm water. Why? Because using warm water on something with blood actually makes the blood stain it. So using some cold water first is going to ensure that it's going to keep its color a lot better and it's not going to get as stained. And then also, honestly, using the cup cleanser does help a lot here. So make sure you're rinsing it with some cold water first. What I like to do is, you'll notice that the menstrual cup has a few of those holes. I think they're needed for the seal to work properly, but I'm not completely sure. Anyway, those holes can clog up a little bit. So what you want to do is, when you're cleaning it, fill up your menstrual cup with water, put your hands on top of it and then squeeze, and it will flush out any clogged things from those holes. So make sure those are clog free and clean as well before you reinsert it. So after rinsing, you can just take a drop of your cup cleanser again and give it an extra little cleaning. Then after rinsing properly, because you don't want any stuff left on your cup, you can just reinsert it and you're good to go for another 12 hours. At the end of your cycle, you are going to want to clean your cup again, So first rinsing with some cold water, then washing it with your cup cleanser. And then you're going to want to sterilize it again before you put it away. You're doing this just to make sure there's no bacteria really on there, and it's just going to help you to keep your cup good a lot longer. And you're going to boil it either in a pan or in a microwave, whatever you prefer. And then you want to make sure that it's completely dry before storing it again. So Lynette cups, and I think most menstrual cups, will come with this little cloth bag which you can store your cup in. And these honestly are ideal. You don't want to store your cup in something like this, which is completely going to close airtight, because that's going to give bacteria a lot better chance in enjoying their time in your menstrual cup, and you don't want that to happen. So leaving a little bit of airflow but still keeping it free from dirt and dust is what's going to be ideal. So that was it for today's video. If you want to see more about zero waste periods, make sure that you are going to watch that video on menstrual pads as well as period panties. I'll make sure to link that both down below as well as at the end of this video if it's up already. If not, make sure you subscribe to my channel and you hit the bell notifications so you do get notified once those videos do go live. For now, I thank you so much for watching this video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, that would really help me out, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, bye!